Here's how I would go about painting the face. I'm not even going to start with a sketch. We're not going to use any lines at all, just shapes. I'm just going to pick something that's roughly skin colour. Going to paint a blob for the top of the head, and we can be as sloppy as we want to start off with. This is speed painting. Now we're going to pick the hair. That's just going to be a dark shade of brown. I actually have a tendency to draw my hair too big for the face, so we'll probably run into that later and I'll end up chopping off a big load of it. Okay, now we're going to start refining the shape of the face, and we just want the overall composition, the thumbnail of the face, to look right. And you can see we're already kind of getting that. It's kind of like just a paper cut image of a face. Now we're going to start to implement some basic lighting. So I'm going to choose the skin color. I'm going to make it a little bit darker, a little bit more saturated, and a little bit more red. We've got 3/4 facing. The face is kind of a 3/4 direction, and we've also got 3/4 lighting, and that's how faces kind of look their best. We're going to add a little bit of halftone, and that's just going to be on the right side of the face, and it's going to kind of introduce us into the shadows. Like I said, we always do the hair a little bit too large, so I'm going to cut a bunch of that off. And now I'm going to quickly get in some of the details of the face. I like to start with the eyebrows, and we can literally just colour pick the hair for the eyebrows because the eyebrows are indeed made out of hair. Get some basic eyes in. I just like to do the top eyelid and the iris of the eye, the pupil. Get the top lip. The top lip is facing down, so that's often going to be a darker red. And then the bottom lip is facing up, so that's going to be a bit of a lighter value. Now I'm going to use the often overpowered blur tool. And we've got to be really careful with this, but it can be really powerful sometimes for getting rid of any evidence of brush strokes. I'm going to go for some even darker shadows right here in the eye socket where it's really deep. Edge of the face where it's going into more like the hair. And of course down here near the jaw, it's going to be really quite dark there. And I'm going to use the airbrush now to add just a bit of halftone in some key areas where I'm going to want to put highlights. Often one right there on the eye, and of course a very soft highlight on the forehead. Throwing just a little bit more on the hair, and there we have it. We've got a pretty basic, quick portrait. It took us maybe about 10 minutes to paint. It was really easy. We didn't use any lines, straight in with shapes, and I think the results are pretty nice.